Hey everybody, it's Tyler with Tyler Talks Travel Trailers, and we are back with a factory fresh 2025 No Boundaries 19.4 with the Beast Mode package. I've been showing you guys a lot of different floor plans, and they haven't had that north-south bed, meaning that you can't walk around it. So if you're looking for something small, compact, under 4,500 pounds with a north-south bed, this might be one you want to watch. This thing is so cool. It's compact. Like I said, it has the Beast Mode package. So if you're wanting to go off the beaten path, wait till I show you the suspension on this thing. It is crazy. Also, the bathroom is in the rear, which gives you a lot more floor space when you get out of the shower to dry off and things like that. It is the 7.3 foot wide box. So it is a little narrower, which makes it easier when you're towing. You can see around it with your mirrors, but it does not feel cramped in here. They give you just a big enough slide to add some space, but not a ton of weight. So let's stop talking about it. You guys are really gonna enjoy this floor plan. I know I love it. So like always, we're gonna do the specs first. It takes me 1 minute to do those specs, and then we'll dive inside. Let's go, guys. So the basic specs on this 2025 No Boundaries 19.4. Your unloaded vehicle weight is 4,469 pounds. Your cargo carrying capacity is 941 pounds, which brings your potential fully loaded weight to 5,410 pounds. Your hitch weight is 540 pounds. Your exterior length is 24 feet 2 inches total. Your exterior height is 10 feet 10 inches. Your exterior width is 7.3 feet wide. Your tanks, your freshwater tank is 30 gallons, your gray water tank is 30 gallons, and your black tank is 30 gallons. Your awning size is 16 feet. Let's jump inside. All right, guys, now that we got the specs done, let's jump into this little beast of a trailer. Yesterday, I did do a tour on one. If you didn't get to check it out, I will put it at the end of this video. But like I said, the 19.4 couples coach is what we will be doing today. And check it out. Yeah, we will do a quick walk around just so you guys kind of see what we are going to be getting into. But super lightweight. As you can see, the most important thing about this trailer right there. And we are going to dive into that. But overall, really nice floor plan because it does have one slide out, like I said, and this will be where your slide is. So it's not super big, but it does add just enough space. So when that slide is out, look at all of this floor room you get. It does not feel like a trailer that's 7.3 feet wide. It feels like a standard 8 foot wide box. So it feels super spacious. It does not feel any smaller than your standard 8 foot wide box because of that slide out. As you can see, when you first walk in, you got your 10 cubic foot 12 volt fridge right here. These cool super fast, and they are deeper than the standard gas electric. There is pros and cons to both of them, but what I love about them is how cold they get and how fast they get cold. You know, it's running right off of my battery, which I think people will enjoy, especially because some of these trailers are coming with solar panels now, which we'll get into that as well. Up here to the right is your control panel. A portion of it, you got like your tank readings, your awning lights, your slide, your interior lights, things like that. This does have a 30 amp solar controller, 400 watts of solar, and a 2,000 watt inverter. So those solar panels are going to be trickle charging your batteries if you're out boondocking. So you don't need to worry about, the fridge draining your batteries because it's going to constantly keep that recharging. Another thing that the solar is good for is this does have tank heaters on it. So there's heat pads on every single tank. So if you like to camp in cold weather, all you have to do is flip those switches on and then it'll prevent your tanks from freezing versus just the heated underbelly where you would have to keep your heater running the whole day. So this will have tank heaters, it will have the solar, and it will have an inverter. Over here to my right, you can see you got your refrigerator, your kitchen. So decent amount of counter space. You got to remember the size of this unit. It's not super big. And over here to the right, you got your 2 top burner, which I am not mad about. I'm actually not mad about this because you'll notice this. Until a customer actually told me this, you can't put 3 pots and pans at the same time on anyway. So I would much rather prefer this 2-top burner because it does give you a little extra counter space. It's not going to take up as much room. I would much rather prefer the 2-top burner because you can't fit those 3 pots and pans on anyway if it was a 3-top burner. You got your fancy lights. These do have the igniters, so you don't have to light it with a match. And check it out. They gave you some drawers in this one. A lot of times, you know, these companies forget to give you drawers for your utensils. So you got 3 drawers right there. What do you guys think of this olive green tone to it? With the gold accented handles, decent amount of storage right here, easy access to your plumbing, but not bad for all your soap and stuff like that. Wait till you see the beast mode package. It is pretty cool. This thing can go anywhere. You got another cabinet right here. Nothing too crazy. And a little bit of counter space over here to the left of the sink that we're about to get into. Above this, you have some more cabinet space. If you guys notice, we're probably going to be moving a little faster now that it's summertime. Look at me already. Woo! Yeah, so usually I do these 35-minute long tours. They might be a little quicker now because I'll probably fall over. It starts to get super hot in these, but not bad for storage space in your cabinet with all your cabinetry. Your sink, this sink is really cool. Farm style sink. You can pull this down, spray stuff off, and then you have 3 ways to kind of utilize this space. You have obviously your big sink, and then you have your cutting board up here that kind of sit on these grooves right here. So if you're chopping stuff up and you have that tray over, you could, you know, throw it into here, spray off your vegetables. And then if you, let's say you want to not use a lot of water, but you need to fill up this instead. I put them backwards. So you actually have this little plug right here that will go there. So that way you don't have to fill up the entire sink. So if you're dry camping, that's going to come in handy. And then you have your rinsing tray right there and your cutting board. Over here you have this little thing right here will actually close the drain. So when you're ready to fill up the sink, you just turn this and it'll close it and open it. You got a soap dispenser, waterfall spout right here. So you just turn this to whatever option you want, whether it's this one or the waterfall spout. It's really cool. A lot of companies are moving to this sink, so I'm sure, you know, probably all of them are going to be moving to this sink. It's really nice. Then you have the cup cleaner, so it has some high pressure. You stick that on top and it'll clean up your cups. You got a plug tower right here. So you got a decent spot, you know, for your Keurig coffee pot, things like that. Or if you even want to just put a dish rack right here, you have a little bit of space for that. Put that down. You do have one window right here. I have them closed so I'm not overheating too bad, but I don't think that's going to make a difference. Above, you do have your microwave, but check it out. It's an air fryer. So you got an air fryer in here because obviously it doesn't have the oven. So it's a convection and air fryer. We love air fryers. In the beginning, I thought I was too macho to use one. I was like, we're just going to be grilling everything. So this will have an air fryer, and I promise you'll love it. So I would much rather prefer that over an oven because now you get more cabinet space and drawers. You got your light fan combo right here. And then behind me on the slide out, you have already seen, you got a couch. This is the tri-fold sofa. So this one will turn into a bed. And I don't know if you guys have seen the ones in the other trailers. They're super tiny. Like they could probably only fit a small child. I could fit on that. Maybe before we go outside, I'll put it down. But you can order this with theater seating or with this tri-fold sofa. So if you're wanting to accommodate, you know, an extra guest, maybe you have the grandkids come once in a while, you can accommodate them. I'm not sure if this middle part comes down. Nope. But behind this, you got a lot of storage. See all the cabinet space down there? So it does give you some nice storage behind the couch. I don't think you would not probably get that if you got the theater seating. So you do get quite a bit of storage down here for maybe books, entertainment needs, little area right here to put stuff on. And then look at this window. Well, bam! Look at how massive that window is. Unfortunately, that window does not open, but these two side ones will, so you'll get a nice cross breeze going through here. Shut that so it doesn't mess up my exposure. But I would rather have a big window versus one that opens, because the AC in this, you got a 15,000 BT or 13.5 BTU AC in this. It's not ducted, so it just dumps straight from here, but I think that's plenty since that window doesn't open. These little trays down below, pretty nice. So if you got to get some work done while you're out, it will actually probably fit a laptop. You can pull these out too, and you still got cup holders for those cold snacks. Behind me, woo, it's getting warm. Behind me is probably what everyone is going to love most about this. You got a true 60 by 80 queen size bed. So if you're not familiar with RVs, they have what's called an RV queen, which is 60 by 74. The great thing about this is if you wanted to switch it out for a residential grade mattress, you can, because, you know, RV mattresses aren't the most comfortable. So this being a 60 by 80 is going to be huge, just so that way if you wanted to get a better topper or a different mattress, it will fit it. Over here, you do have plugs on both sides. So if you're someone that uses a CPAP machine, anything like that, you got equal plugs on both sides to be able to get a good night's sleep. You have USB-C and USB, so standard plugs and stuff like that. And then it looks like there's enough room. I'm not sure what CPAP machines really look like, but you do have an area back here to kind of store stuff. So maybe it would fit there. I'm not sure, but you got like a little cubby back there. And then in the front is your hanging wardrobe. Look at the lights. I love the glass inlay. So your hanging wardrobe, it'll be the same on both sides. And then storage above all the way across. So this will go all the way across. Pretty decent storage on this considering the size of the unit. And I can't even reach the back of that. I like the magnets versus the rolling pins, so you don't have to worry about those stretching out over time. Those are pretty heavy duty magnets. But the most important thing of this whole trailer, I think, is going to be that it's north-south, so you can actually walk around it. It also makes it much easier to make the bed. If you've ever had an RV, you know how it is to put sheets over when it's not a north-south queen. It just makes life a lot easier. Some people it's not a big deal, but I know I get a lot of questions or asked, do you have one with a north-south queen? There it is. You got storage down below. There's your inverter right there. And you got 4 drawers right in the front. Pretty nice. Decent storage. Oh, I can't do it with one hand. I might have to leave this up. Dang, those are heavy duty. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I couldn't get those down with one arm. Those shocks were pretty strong. I did notice that you do have a little extension right here. How about that? That's pretty nice. It locks into place, but I can't do it with one hand. So look at that. You got some extra prep space. So that really isn't that bad of counter space considering the size of the unit. And then this also serves, you know, as extra prep space. Pretty decent amount of lights too. Check out all of those lights. And you could turn them off individually, which I really love because, you know, you don't want to turn on your lights and have to keep them all on if you're wanting to like kick back or anything like that. So keep an eye out for that when you look at trailers. A lot of companies don't allow you to turn them off individually. Moving on to the bathroom. Dang, this is probably one of my fastest tours, but it's look at me. Woo! I'm gonna lose some weight doing these tours this summer. I was getting spoiled with the cold. Well, bam! Look at how bright that is. Lots of natural light. I don't even have the lights on. That skylight really helps with that. So like I said, because of it being a rear bathroom, you tend to get a lot more floor space in here. Ooh, my shirt. We're gonna sit on the toilet. I encourage you guys to do the same just because you want to know that you're gonna be comfortable on the commode. So knee room, I am 5'7". I'm not the biggest dude or the buffest, but I feel like majority of people will have enough knee room right there. turn you around so you can see me dying. So not bad. So, ooh, I'm pretty buff, you know. I'm just kidding. I mean, it's not that tight. It's really not that bad. I think most people will be fine in this. So leg room is good. Shoulder room is good. And you could see how much floor space I still have, even sitting on the toilet. What I really love about this floor plan is, look at the linen closet. This is massive. Lots of great storage in here. So you got another hanging wardrobe. So they already got the hanging rod up there. So this is going to come in handy, you know, if you have winter clothes, or you're out on a long extended trip and where you're going is going to get cold. At least you'll have another place to put some stuff. This is pretty decent, I'm telling you. This is great storage for a couples coach. Floor to ceiling storage right here. So pretty good storage there. It's probably the best storage in the whole trailer. You do get one window right here that will open, which a lot of times they don't open, so that's pretty nice. That one will open. You got a decent sized sink. It's a balloon. They put it on because there's antifreeze in the lines, which you'll probably see it down on this in the shower pan. But a pretty decent sink to brush your teeth, wash your hands, do what you need to do. A little bit of storage down below, easy access to your plumbing. And then you got yourself a medicine cabinet, pretty standard stuff. Mirror. When we get outside, I'll talk about construction, because this thing, not only does it have a lot of great features, but it's built super well. You got the big fart fan, which I wish was on now, so that will pull out some air. It's got 4 speeds. It does not have the rain cover, but that's something you can easily add. I did do measurements on this shower. So the shower pan is going to be 22 by 37. So 22 by 37. And I'll stand in it just to give you a reference. You can see me dying right here. So I am 5'7". It does have a skylight, so it does add some extra height to it. And then this shower curtain actually bows a little, like it bows out. So it really is a little bigger than it looks because of it, the shower curtain bowing out like that. And it just magnetically sticks to this. For tall people, this is going to be important for you. If you are tall, I'm talking from the shower pan to your head hitting this skylight. You are looking at 6 feet 3 inches. So if you're 6'4", your head is going to be going through the skylight. If you're 6'4", you're probably going to have a lot of issues with most bathrooms. And shower head seems like it's at an okay height. What do you guys think? That was a lot faster than I normally do, but it's just because we're roasting in here. TV, I did not show you. This is a 32-inch smart TV, so it's got all the apps ready to go. It will swivel. So if you're kicking back at the bed, check it out. Pretty good angle from here. And then the couch is at a little bit of an awkward position. Every trailer, I'm going to start putting that on my list of things to look for. A perfect straight-on TV. So I'm sitting at the middle of the couch. But it's not terrible. I do want to point out too, because a lot of these trailers, they have a step up in the slide. This one does not have a step up. So you could see my feet are actually touching the ground. If you've seen some of my videos in the past, some of them do have like a little step up on the slide. So let me show you how great travel mode is. I can already tell you it is probably perfect. Travel mode is when you put the slide in and you're basically seeing what you can and cannot access. If travel mode is important to you, check this out. It does not get any more perfect than this. So once your slide is in, you know, if you're stopping off at the Cracker Barrel or you don't feel like you could drive any longer, you could stop off at Walmart. You do not need to put your slide out. Uh-oh, it's getting close. It's getting close. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Travel mode on this trailer is perfect. Look at that. And you can still get through there. You can literally utilize every single portion of this trailer when you're going down the road. So if you stop off and need to take a nap, look how easy it is to get to the bed. If you want to stop off, make a sandwich, really easy to use the counter space. If you stop off for groceries and you need to load the fridge, well, bam, real easy to get to that fridge. So, oh yeah, and the bathroom. If you need to go to the bathroom, it's right by the door. Check it out. So really easy to get to everything. If travel mode is something that you're putting on your list, this one's perfect. Let's put this slide back out. It looks like this is on a Schwintek slide. And it does have a little step up, but they covered it with the couch. You see that step up right there? So really easy. Like I said, all of your controls are right here. Your tanks. The heated holding tanks is probably one of the biggest features too on this, just because if you're someone that likes to snowboard, ski, ice fish, you know, you got to really watch out for your tanks freezing. We'll go outside and talk about some of the construction real quick, and I could cool off. Holy smokes, it feels so good out here. Oh yeah, it's like super refreshing now. That feels good. It's a beautiful day out. So starting at the front of this little beast, you got your electric tongue jack, dual propane tanks. These are the 20-pound tanks. Battery disconnect, and then that's where your batteries will go. Look how mean and looks mean, like rugged. It has really nice docking lights up and around it as well. The color scheme is awesome. At first I was kind of wondering if people were gonna like it, but people seem to like it. One customer said they like that it would blend in with the forest. I didn't even think of that, you know? It's not gonna be like intrusive to the eyes for other people. So this is your storage magnetics right there. Pass-through storage all the way across. This does have, let's see, a griddle. So I don't know if you can see it. Right there is the flat top griddle you get, and I'll show you where that goes. But see all this aluminum framing? This is a 6-side aluminum frame trailer, meaning the front wall, the back wall, the 2 side walls, the roof, and the floor. You got to ask the salesperson when you're out looking, is this 6-side aluminum frame? Because a lot of times it could be mixed with wood. And if you're out looking at trailers and spending this kind of money, know what you're paying for. So this will be a 6-side aluminum framed trailer. We'll talk about the walls here in a bit, but this is where your griddle will hook on, just like this table. This is kind of to put your seasonings and things like that. Massive awning with the LED lights that go across, as well as a porch light right up there. It's got the nice glass door with the goat on it. You can't see through it though. I always mention this because people think you can. It just has one window up above. I'll pause right here so you can see if I missed anything. This is the beast mode package. And then the solid steps that just fold right into the doorway. The beast mode package it's not just the suspension that's included. You get 400 watts of solar, whereas the other ones you either get none or 200 watts. You also get different latches. So like on the beast mode, you get these nice luggage latches with the magnets. The other ones you have to twist. What else? Oh, I will say with the beast mode package, the suspension will add 500 pounds. So the beast mode package does add some weight. If you did it without the beast mode, it'll save you about 500 pounds. So if this is still too heavy, but you like this floor plan, maybe not go with the beast mode, but check this beast mode package out. How cool is that? Look at that. It's racing inspired. That's what they say in their brochure. But it's a Kurt independent suspension. It has a lift on it. It has 5 inches of flex. So not only is that going to be able to take you to places that most trailers can't go, but it's gonna really help absorb a lot of that stress and shock transferring into the frame of the trailer. So, you know, if you hit a pothole or anything like that, this suspension is going to help a lot. One cool thing that I love about this beast mode package suspension is you cannot get a weight distribution hitch with this setup. I know it sounds crazy. People are going to probably roast me in the comments, but it could. actually damage the frame. Everything is leveled out nicely with this suspension here. And the great thing about that is you're not going to have to, you know, spend time with those bulky bars that you set on the hitch and then to the trailer. You don't need that with this. This thing will drive like a dream. I had a bigger one than this, and the lady was towing with an older Tacoma, and it was perfect without the weight distribution and all. And if you notice, it's all buttoned up nicely and enclosed, but there is no axle right here in the middle. So you got to imagine if you're going through a big crazy trail and there's rocks or boulders in the middle, and you won't hit them with the axle. You know, there's no axle, so you don't have to worry about that. Pretty cool. Let's talk about the walls real quick. Ugh. So the way that they make these walls is it'll go fiberglass and then Luan or Azdel, then it'll go the rigid block foam, and then it'll go your aluminum framing. Luan is just a wood material, so they put a wood sheet down it, and then Azdel is a composite material. It's impervious to water, as they say, so it's basically waterproof. You got to imagine what happens to wood if water gets on it. It starts to swell, it starts to get moldy, and you probably have seen it when trailers, they like older ones out there, they start to bubble. That's because water has literally gotten in the walls, and now it's what's called delamination. So the walls are delaminating, and everything, the glue, the walls, the Luan, everything is just starting to separate, and that's how you get that waviness in the walls. With Azdel, like I said, it's waterproof, so you don't need to worry. They literally put that composite material in water for months, and it did not change the integrity of the material. So this will have an outer Azdel material. It'll be the fiberglass first, then the Azdel. So if you're looking for something to hold up long term, you know, I'm not saying it's going to be 100% perfect, but having that Azdel composite is definitely going to be huge for the long term of owning the trailer. You still always want to check your joints, you know, make sure everything is sealed up correctly, because no trailer is going to be perfect. You still have to do regular maintenance, you know, lubricate your slides, condition all of these slide seals right here. So you still have to be very cautious. Also, some slides you're supposed to lubricate and some you're not. I actually did a video on the different slide systems. Just a quick tip though, I'll tell you right now, Schwintek, they do not recommend lubricating. Back in the day they did, but they changed the materials that they use to make the Schwintek slide. If you notice on the outside too, it has a dovetail, like going angle up. So if you're going down a huge incline, you know, when you hit that bottom and start going up again, that's when you drag and you start destroying your pipes and your stabilizers. So having that nice dovetail is definitely going to help if you're going down some steep roads. So we're going to end this one pretty quick. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour. If you are new to the channel, I try to do a new tour every single day, whether it's a 60-second short or a long form, but now that we are in the summer months, it is a little harder because people are out, people are buying, everyone's excited to get outdoors. So if I don't make it, that's why. I'm a full-time salesperson. I don't do this full-time like a lot of the other YouTubers out there, but just know I got a lot of stuff going. So I hope you guys have a good morning, night, evening, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.